When you have an automaker with a long history, it's easy to remember the hits, the legends, and the icons, while forgetting that the company has a deep back catalog. Chevrolet can easily lay claim to having one of the largest back catalogs, as it has been around as an automaker since 1911. Its most significant influence on the automotive market came through the 1950s and 1960s, but it still runs deep. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Chevrolet's rarest and most forgotten cars. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. 1968 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 Convertible. The Z28 performance package was designed to allow the Camaro to compete in the SCCA Trans Am series and featured a solid lifter 4.9-liter V8, upgraded suspension, front power disc brakes, and a Muncie 4-speed manual close-ratio transmission. It was introduced as an option code by Vince Piggins, who wanted to offer a close-to-race-ready Camaro to customers via dealerships. The engine was rated by Chevy at 290 horsepower at 5,300 RPM, but in reality, it made a peak of 360 horsepower or 400 horsepower with additional carbs, and at 6,800 to 7,000 RPM. Chevrolet's Special Production Division wanted to promote the package, but this was before marketers crunched numbers. General Manager Pete Estes only drove convertibles, so he wasn't convinced and needed a lot of persuasion. The tactic taken was to build a single Z28 convertible model and leave it in the executive garage for Estes to drive. He took the bait and immediately authorized promoting the Z28. That convertible was the only one built. 1990 Chevrolet 454 SS. In the hallowed Hall of Fame of fast street trucks, we remember the Dodge Ram SRT-10, the Ford SVT Lightning, and the GMC Cyclone. Often forgotten, however, is the Chevy 454 SS and its 7.4-liter V8 engine pushing 230 horsepower with 385 foot-pounds of torque to the rear wheels through a 3-speed automatic transmission. It also came with a heavy sway bar, Bilston shocks, quicker steering, and a big set of tires for the era. Only around 17,000 were built between 1990 and 1993, and they're not particularly expensive to buy now if you're a fan of big smoky burnouts and velour interiors. 1997 Chevrolet S10 Electric. While the auto industry races to build and bring to market the first modern electric truck, we forget Chevrolet already did it. It wasn't great, but the fleet truck was proof of concept. The problem was that it was a proof of concept that electric vehicles weren't ready, and electric trucks certainly weren't ready for the mainstream. The S10 EV used lead batteries, did 0 to 60 miles per hour eventually, only ran for 47 miles in combined driving and downhill, and with the wind behind it, could manage 70 miles an hour. It was introduced in 1997, updated in 1998, then discontinued, just 60 built, and little fanfare. GM's forthcoming GMC Hummer will be a far better electric pickup. 2019 50th Anniversary COPO Camaro. The COPO Camaro was created by finding a loophole to circumvent limitations General Motors placed on Chevy's performance vehicles in the late 1960s. Chevy's special order system was usually used for special order alternations to municipal fleet vehicles, but also allowed dealers to order performance options not found in the factory paperwork. To cut a long story short, the first COPO performance car was the 1969 ZL1 COPO Camaro, and the name still lives on. In 2019, Chevy built 69 of the 50th anniversary models to celebrate the 69 model run of the first 427-equipped COPO Camaro. The 50th edition from 2019 comes with a bunch of exclusive trim, but is built to drag race with its big block 427 LSX engine, developing 480 horsepower and 490 pound-foot of torque from the factory. Even rare are the ones optioned with the racer package, which added a parachute and dual batteries. 1958 Chevrolet Yeoman two-door. Chevrolet named the Yeoman well, as it was designed to do a yeoman's work. The dealership brochure declared that "you can swab this deck," in reference to the vinyl and rubber interior that could be washed with a bucket of water and a sponge. It could seat 6 people as either a 2-door or 4-door station wagon, and was powered by a beefy straight-six engine or an even stronger 4.6-liter V8 with a Rochester 2-barrel carburetor. Other options included the 5.7-liter turbo thrust V8 or the Blue Flame inline 6 to go with the Power Glide transmission option. The Yeoman entered production for 1958 as Chevy's entry-level wagon and exited production at the end of the year as a minor footnote in the brand's history. Chevy sold a huge amount of wagons in 1958 and overtook Ford in sales overall. However, just 16,590 of the two-door Yeoman were built, and only a handful still survive. 1977 Chevrolet Monza Mirage. The 1975 Chevrolet Monza was shaped as a response to the 1973 gas crisis and GM's first car designed using CAD technology. At one point, it nearly got a Wankel rotary engine, but it was too costly to pay for permission to use it and neither fuel-efficient nor reliable enough for the car. It was built on a rear-wheel drive chassis with enough room under the hood for Chevrolet's small block V8. In 1977, Chevy launched the IMSA Monza GT race car-inspired Monza Mirage. Chevrolet commissioned British Overseas Racing Team to create the package and then contracted Michigan Auto Techniques Corporation to install it for the minimum 8,000 orders expected. It was built with 4, 6, or 8-cylinder engines ranging in displacement from 2.3 to 5.7 liters. All 4,057 built came painted white with the blue and red stripes, but it's believed only around 30 survive. 1985 Chevrolet Sprint Turbo. The recipe of 70 horsepower from a 1.0-liter inline turbocharged 3-cylinder engine in a red-badged Suzuki Cultus from the 1980s doesn't sound appetizing at first glance. However, it had a wheelbase of 88 inches, weighed 1,633 pounds, and if you enjoyed torque steer, it was a blast to drive. It cost $7,690 in 1987, which was too much despite the Chevy hot hatch spec added to it. It's not entirely clear how many sold, but those in the know have picked them up used and made a few small modifications to turn it into a hilariously angry little autocross competitor. 1969 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray ZL1. In 1969, Chevrolet quietly offered a ZL1 packaged Corvette featuring a 356 T6 aluminum version of the 7.0 V8 weighing 100 pounds less than the stock cast iron engine. It was factory rated at 435 horsepower but made over 500 horsepower in reality and added a monstrous $3,010 to an already hefty $10,771 sticker price for the car. Between the lack of awareness it existed and the fact that price adjusted to this day, it's the most expensive engine Chevy has sold, only 3 were built as a result. It's an incredibly rare beast, and beast is the right word. It nailed the quarter mile in 11.2 seconds, which is the same time that Car and Driver managed with the Challenger SRT Hellcat on street tires 45 years later.